still a solid hour and a half of live show to do here on the Cowboys Report. Grade it A, B, C, D, or F. Bonus points if you type in W for like the Wi-Fi just not working from the Cowboys stream. That was something. And, you know, probably a very inauspicious sign for the Cowboys as an organization. So get your votes in. Some super chats I want to get to as well. $10, so 3 entries into the George Pickens jersey raffle from William Cook. If you had a press conference drinking game, what would get people drunk the fastest? Take a shot every time Jerry rambles nonsensically. I will say, I thought he was a little bit more on his game this time. I've heard some rough Jerry season opening press conferences where it's just like it's not sounding good. I thought it sounded good. It's just the words that were being said weren't good. If that differentiation makes any sense. Also, by the way, shout out Ethan B for the $10 Venmo. You are also into the George Pickens jersey raffle. $5 into the raffle from Red Eyes Black Dragon. Just Jerry Jones is old. Yes, he is. Alan Williams II. Even the Wi-Fi there is sick and tired of hearing Jerry and Steven talk. Yeah, lot to maybe not love about that one. Yeah, that was not. There were ways to not cause issues, and like they kind of like. I mean, they did drive-bys on Micah, Terrence Steele, and Trayvon Diggs multiple times. Like, for no reason. Just like, you could just say the generic stuff. We love our guys. You know, we're gonna pay them. We're gonna get them there, and then just to like drive-by with no real reason doesn't really go over very well. William, and I do love this line too from William Cook. The past drives Jerry and limits the future. I love that line. I think that sums it up super well. How many times are we talking about Netflix? We're talking about Emmitt Smith. I mean, they kept talking about Landman. The Cartoon Network came up, which I actually don't blame Jerry for that. Like, that was... Why are we asking about Cartoon frickin' Network on the day of Cowboys Training Camp opens? Like, what are we doing out there? I always wish you hear more of the head coach. He'll go tomorrow, so we'll have that. But, like, what are we doing? Why? What are we doing out there? All right, reaction to come. This is the super chat menu, by the way. $5 George Pickens jersey raffle. $10 gets you 3 entries. $20 for the shoddy. It's the vodka lemonade, essentially, we'll call it. $20 for that. $50 for the beer bong. Every $100 total is a beer bong. We're 8 away, so in theory, we should get that in the not-too-distant future. That is the Super Chat menu as we dive into some reaction from the State of the Team press conference. You guys are watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. We got some Cowboys news, injury updates before training camp, and some takeaways from the State of the Team press conference. Before we dive into that, we will have Cowboys training camp coverage for you right here on the channel. We're 400 subs away from 218,000. Hit that sub button for me right now. Let's begin with the Micah conversations. This kind of dominated the first third-ish, quarter-ish of the press conference itself. Micah is in attendance, by the way. He confirmed that to Jane Slater. All 3 people at the press conference, Jerry, Steven, and Shoddy, mentioned he was there in some capacity. And they're talking about leadership being a big deal again. We'll see what, if anything, Micah does in terms of the on-field drills during training camp. Jerry said he was glad Micah was there. But the main questions, of course, were the positives, right? Or the positives, the conversations about what was going on in terms of the contract talks and where do things sit there. And the main takeaway I have from those mentions by Jerry Jones about Micah's contract were they just haven't done much here. They brought up Emmitt Smith again, which is kind of wild to me because that was a poorly handled contract, and they're implying they're okay doing that again, which, no, it's not how you should be approaching things. Jerry said, Micah missed 6 games last year. First off, no, he didn't. It's 4. So we're just wrong. We're factually incorrect there. Jerry says he has not talked to the agent. Steven kind of jumped in and said he had implied he had talked to the agent, that Jerry doesn't talk to him. It is Steven, as I've said before, who is heavily involved, helps run these contract stuff. There's the crux of your issue there. Steven got a little bit dare I say, defensive with some of the questions from Jane Slater. It wasn't even just like the way he was answering the questions. They were very short, very terse. He also had his arms folded and was like leaning back a little bit. Like the body language was like unhappy, very defensive. Like even though you have another high-paid player who's not here or hasn't been paid yet and wants to get paid, and it's just another distraction that I don't really like the way the Cowboys approach things here. So crux of the updates here, he's present. Who the hell knows when we're going to get a deal done? So who do you blame more of those two? Got to pick one. You can assign some blame. Who gets the most of the blame? MP for Micah Parsons, JB for the Jones boys. Let me know at the pinned comment of today's show. Now, Steven also it's also Steven, so like sometimes he's just not being truthful about it. He implied that the Cowboys were open/working on additional deals beyond Micah Parsons, which we have seen before. We've seen the Cowboys pay somebody else before the big contract was due. I think back to the La'el Collins deal, even the Trayvon Diggs deal to an extent. Those got done with a little bit more urgency than some other players who maybe were asking for true top of the market price tags there. He was asked about Tyler Smith, like, would you work with him? And he was like, well, who says we haven't worked with him? And the follow-up was, did you? And Steven was like, I'm not going to get into it. Which on one hand, like, okay, but you brought it up. Like, by saying who says we haven't, but also, like, I'm okay not saying if you have or haven't. Actions speak louder than words, and their actions haven't been very good. That's the crux of the problem. Now, speaking of words, the drive-bys from Jerry Jones today were something. And he takes the shot at Micah for missing 6 games. Not true. They were kind of, again, talking about contract stuff here, about, you paid Trayvon Diggs, you paid Terrence Steele early, and his response was, well, should we have waited? Which, should you have? Maybe. Steele was RFA, so he kind of had some limited timelines there. But also, like, do you want to say that out loud? We can say that. Should you be saying that? He also, like, took, again, a couple other shots at Diggs of, like, out of the blue. Like, he was not there. We all knew Diggs had it in his contract that he had to be present or he was going to get docked $500,000. I'm fine docking him that. It wasn't from what his contract stuff was. To kind of bring it up a few different times, like, feels a little bit unnecessary. Like, okay, you say he's got to earn, he didn't come. Okay. He worked from home. It was in his contract. He had to work in office. Okay. As long as the results on the field are good, he gets the other salary. No one's upset about it. Going out of the way to, like, kind of take, even if it's intentional or not, shots at guys like Diggs, like, I don't think that's good business. And this is not the first time they've done that, which makes me think it is a little bit intentional in the end. Give me your one-word reaction to the state of the team this year. I think Wi-Fi is a good one word since it, like, wasn't working for the actual Cowboys stream itself. So give me your one word. Classic is another good one maybe. Expected. Par for the course is a phrase. It's not obviously one word. Let me know in the comments of today's show. We did hear a little bit from Brian Schottenheimer. We'll hear more from him on Tuesday and Wednesday and everything else there. He made the comment he wants good physical practice once the pads go on, within the rules that they have to abide by. Talked a lot about winning the line of scrimmage, which is great. Every coach wants to win the line of scrimmage, but again, your actions speak louder than words. I'm a bit worried about your trenches right now, right? There's a lot of talent, a lot of investment on the offensive line. First-round picks on the left side with Guyton Smith, plus on the right side with Booker. BB at center. Terrence Steele is a high-paid guy at right tackle or high-ish paid guy at right tackle. That offense line has to be good. You mentioned the trench stuff again, and I look at your defensive tackle room and I go, is that very good actually? Like, you talk about wanting to win the trenches, and this is your defensive tackle depth chart right now. That's kind of worrisome, isn't it? So again, actions speak louder than words. Shotty says all the right stuff. He can't do all the right stuff. It's not his job. He doesn't get to have that level of control. See how it goes. Speaking of the trenches, you need to have good stuff from Mozzie Smith and Guyton. Shotty asked about those two guys, had plenty of praise for him. Said, Mozzie looks great, ready to go, looks awesome. Had a bunch of Guyton praise. He's had praise for Guyton, and with the level of work ethic he's shown so far, especially Guyton, also Mozzie, you need those guys to be substantially better this year. Otherwise, those two players don't perform. If you're going to be a draft-focused team and your first-round picks don't perform, oof, that's not a good thing. One other minor note from Schottenheimer is that expect to see a lot of Joe Milton during the preseason, which, again, not surprised by. That's, I think, fairly expected. I don't know how much Greer, if any, we'll get. How much Dak, if any. I think definitely going to get some Greer. Maybe not on Dak. But Milton's going to play a lot. So we'll see how he looks in the process. Now, for today only, folks, Nike jerseys are 20% off if you go over to chatsports.com/DAL jersey. That discount should be auto-applied, by the way. It should be automatically included when you see the price tags on there. 20% off if you go to chatsports.com/DAL jersey. If you need it, code 29SHIP, but it should be automatically applied on those jerseys. These are the Nike Legend jerseys in particular, so Micah, Dak, Lamb, George Pickens. I don't know if that one is eligible for the discount. Jake Ferguson is up there. Dak is up there as well. So chatsports.com/DAL jersey. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Let's talk some injury news and updates. I don't know if we'll get any additional ones, but there have been 4 reported so far that are going on the PUP/NFI list. First up, Trayvon Diggs placed on the PUP list to start Cowboys training camp. I do want to just recap again what the PUP list is. So these players can't practice. This is the active PUP/NFI list. So no roster spots are created in the process of doing this, by the way. They are able to return to the team once they are activated. They don't have to miss games by going on this list. That's not a guarantee. But they do have to be activated before the season, or else they miss at least 4 games. Diggs is kind of up in the air. Again, we had the comments from Jerry, like Steven wanting him there, him not being there, having some issues there. So Diggs, I think, is definitely one to monitor in terms of when he gets cleared, if he gets cleared in time for week 1. But, again, he hasn't been around the team very much. It's fine. But they're going to get a better feel for him in these next couple of weeks once he gets to do more stuff with Britt Brown. Savone Revel placed on the NFI list. Why NFI versus PUP? Well, PUP happened for an NFL game. NFI did not, because it happened in college. There's no real difference outside of the specific designation. He's going to start camp on that NFI list. I think is back before Diggs. How soon before Diggs is uncertain. There's no downside if they're not ready to go that day to putting someone on the PUP or the NFI list. Because once they go there, they can stay there and rehab and then come back. But you can't put someone on the PUP/NFI list unless you do it at the beginning. Otherwise, they're out. They're going to miss a ton of time. Can't do it. Cowboys do have some corners who are out. Trayvon Diggs, not going to be out there. Savone Revel, not going to be out there. We'll come back to Josh Butler. He will not be out there to start either. All those guys coming back from knee injuries. So what is your confidence level in the Cowboys cornerback room overall? Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. Butler, by the way, also going to the PUP list. We'll see if there's any other players that join this list beyond DeMarvion and Overshown. If we do, we'll update you guys tomorrow morning on it. But Butler, again, coming back from his ACL, maybe in between the timeline recovery for Diggs and Savone. Overshown is going to miss time as he recovers from his knee injury. He's not going to be ready in time for week 1. They'll probably keep him on the PUP list at the start of the season. Maybe he's back around Thanksgiving in early November. And we mentioned this morning. He said he got some good news from the doctors that he thinks he's going to be activated at some point this year. If you can get him around midseason, I think that'd be a very big deal for the Cowboys to benefit from that. In the meantime, Kenneth Murray, Jack Sanborn, Maurice Leofau, Damone Clark, Shamar James, maybe some others have a chance to showcase what they're able to do, even though the pads aren't on yet and won't be on for an entire week at training camp. Some notable players who at least have been reported as going on the PUP NFI list. We'll see if that, again, changes because those transactions won't be in until later this afternoon. Sam Williams, Donovan Wilson. Haven't seen John Stevens Jr. on there. That could change, but we'll see. Shamar James as well, who's a bit nicked up late at minicamp. Williams and Wilson would be the big ones if that holds for the Dallas Cowboys. Mailbag time here on the Cowboys Report. Get your questions in via hashtag Cowboys or skip the line altogether via Super Chat. We'll do Mailbag, then we will dive in to the Cowboys Chargers Madden Sim for you guys on today's show. I am going to change the thumbnail and headline here in just a second, so that is slightly more accurate to what is going on today's show, since that has changed at this point. So get your questions in, hashtag Cowboys, skip the line altogether via Super Chat. Update from Clarence Hill is that he says Stephen Jones has actually not talked to Micah's agent. So sweet, good job, guys. That's competent organization. That's awesome. What are you doing out there? Just do your fucking job. It's not that hard. That's all you have to do. I rescind my statement about Steven saying he's talked to the agent. Guess he hasn't. What are we doing out there? Go do your job. That is your job. Talk to the agent. Pick up the damn phone. Get it done. Unbelievable. Appreciate that, Stone, for doing the highlight cut for us. All right. Hashtag Cowboys. Skip the line altogether via Super Chat. I just don't understand like the delay. There's no reason for it. There's no fucking reason for it. I'm going to relax, cool off for the mailbag cut. Get your questions in via hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat. Some super thanks to get to. These two from William Cook, kind of in the same mindset, says it's better between PFF, ESPN, Madden is pretty good. Funny, Madden considers the Cowboys a good team, whereas the other two think the Cowboys are below average. Clear consistency of the rankings indicate the individual authors don't know what they are doing. This is on the PFF side. It says the Cowboys are paying on America's team tax. I don't think the Madden rosters are actually out yet. I think that was just like, I'm pretty sure it was just like they reused the one from a year ago as like the overalls. It didn't change anything, so I wouldn't read too much into the Madden side. PFF, ESPN, you're going to have the disagreements. I just think it's a little bit weird when like you do all the individual rankings. This is on PFF, and like two of them crack the top 15, but you were top 15 overall as a team. Like something's wrong in your process. Like that does not compute. That does not. Something went wrong. As a reminder, folks, every $5 Super Chat gets you into our George Pickens jersey raffle or Super Thanks if you're watching on demand. So send them in and we'll give you a shout out on the show. A $20 Super Thanks from Matthew Temple says, with Tyler Booker and Tyler Smith, not only we have the best guard duo in the NFL, I think we'll have the best two guards in the NFL. I don't think Matt's implying this, but I do emphasize, I don't think that's necessarily going to be a year one outcome. It's a very high expectation if it is for year one. I do think best guard duo could be possible. I still think Philadelphia's got some good talent, but they're replacing guys. Maybe they got probably still better overall offensive line. Tampa's got some good players up front on that unit, but I do think you have the potential. Maybe not year one or day one, maybe down the road, but to have a best guard duo, which is not the first time the Cowboys would have had that, even in recent memory. William, hope it is more than run up the field and turn around. This is about the offensive scheme with Schottenheimer, because all curls should be shot into space. Just how I feel about it. Plus, he can get the screen game working. When was the last time the Cowboys had a really good screen game for execution being good? When was the last time? Feels like it's been a really long time, right? So I agree. I would like the screen game. I have come to the expectation that they're still going to have curls in there. That's fine, as long as it's not all curls. Don't call 7-yard curls on 3rd and 10. Thought. Pickens is good at them, so throw them to him and not Brandon Cooks or Turpin or even maybe Stolberg. On the Cowboys offense, will it be better this year? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments of today's show. Make it the pinned comment. So head down there and go vote. From Bloodslinger, thanks. Football's back when Bloodslinger's back in the Super Thanks column. I've heard rumors Blue is lazy and have a great work ethic. Explain to me how Blue and Deuce are any different. Both small backs, only a 3-inch difference. So I'll go in reverse order here. There are, I would actually argue, significant size differences. what's really almost 4 inches. It's really 3 3/4 from their combine measurements. And 15 pounds is a legitimate difference. That's sizable. Also, Blue is way faster. That's just the simplest one. Blue is far more explosive than what Deuce Vaughn is. Vaughn was more productive, though, but it's a college game versus NFL game. So I think Blue offers you far more big play ability than Deuce Vaughn could, or even more so has shown so far. Carson, on a similar note as the first one from Blood, are you concerned about the Jaden Blue news? We broke that down on the Monday morning video. I'll make sure it's linked in the comment section of this on-demand mailbag for you. Short answer, not really. I feel like what really happened here was, again, as I said Monday, not taking shots, people. I don't feel like starting shit because feuds require energy that I just don't have. I feel like we're kind of merging some red flags that were there coming out of Texas to some, is it really you're talking to the coaches on the Cowboys roster or the Cowboys organization? Like, are you actually talking to them? Or are you just kind of like merging things? Because that's kind of how I interpreted it. Like, you haven't had the chances to be in the building yet. Like that's my main takeaway. Like, these guys haven't really been in there yet. Like, they got drafted a couple months ago. Most of them post-June are going to go stick with their current back trainer. Like, that's what they're going to be doing. Like, Booker was doing a lot of stuff with Mayweather, I believe. That's fine. So short answer is no. Long answer is like, even if I were, like, you have to, it's July 21st. Like, you should not be making sweeping statements on anybody, frankly. So what is your concern level, if there is any, on Jaden Blue? 1 to 10, let me know in the comments section of today's show. Couple super chats here. Matt Temple first up. You think Jerry delays on these contracts because he's mentally stuck in the late 90s, early 2000s, and his goal is to keep people talking? It's very possible. That would not be a huge surprise to me if that was the case. It's frustrating. I mean, he mentioned Emmitt Smith like multiple times. Who cares? Like, I do wonder if deep down they're just kind of like stuck in their ways and thinking that, well, this is how we did it years ago. It's still right, and not good at making adjustments. This Cowboys hoodie is on sale. Was $55. Now it is $33. We'll put the link in the comments section and the description for you on today's show. It's chatsports.com/DAL hoodie. Go get yours today. It's not for July. Although you could probably wear it out in Oxnard if you're going. But, fall, it's perfect for you. I did love this line from Luke, so I'm glad you put it in the mailbag, Chris. The past drives Jerry and limits the future. I think that's spot on. I think that is a really good way of summing up what really is a variety of issues, like the crux of the issues with the way the Cowboys run. It's not that they run terribly. Like, they win a bunch of games, but they haven't won to the level we all want them to. So criticism is fair when their own expectations are not met. And I think that sums it up quite well. $20 from Jatman. He says, President Jerry stumbled through. Secretary of the Budget Stevens seemed mad. People didn't know he's to blame for not talking to the agent. Once again, Schotty wins the press conference just by sounding competent. Spot the lie. I still forget who it was. Someone was like, in the comments or Twitter, whichever one it was, someone's like, I don't know what it is. I always like hearing I always like hearing Schotty speak. I'm like, well, part of it is, if you're out at the bar at 3 a.m., 1 a.m., and, depending on who's there, and there's a bunch of 5s, the 7 looks better. If there's a bunch of 3s, the 6 looks way better. That's just, it's all relative. It's kind of like, when you spend a bunch of 90-degree days in the sun, and then, it's 75 the next day, it almost feels cold. But if it's been a bunch of 50-degree days, then it's 75 again. Well, now it feels hot. It's all relative. And that was relative for the way Schotty looked. Oh, I thought he was fine. He's always done a good job in the press conferences. I do think Steven was defensive, but it's nothing compared to Jerry drive-by shots at Micah and Trayvon Diggs and Terrence Steele. Maybe 5 was generous to begin with there. I was just trying not to be mean to anybody else. All right, Morgan, any interest in Noah Fant? Purely as like a player? Sure, of course. Like, I think that would actually be valuable. Like I think that could make some sense because he's a good football player, and like I want to get good football players on my roster. Does that mean he is going to have interest? My initial feeling is no. That I would bet you anything he is probably looking for more guaranteed playing time and a bigger role no matter what. And I don't think he gets that with Jake Ferguson present. Like he can go like pursue like the Dolphins, for example, if they had the money. Like Darren Waller, Jake Ferguson. Well, 2025, definitely Jake Ferguson's better. So my guess is unless there's an injury, he's going to go find a spot with more playing time and probably more money too. Would you sign Noah Fant? S for sign, P for pass. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. S for sign, P for pass. Robert Simmons, can the Cowboys sign Rasul Douglas? It's still a free agent with the quarterback room. Yes, he can. I suspect this one also might kind of fall more into the Noah Fant category, where I just feel like he's going to get a bigger playing time, more guaranteed money elsewhere, and that probably does make the most sense for everybody involved. So I would not be surprised if he goes somewhere else and the Cowboys pursue a different route. But if we get to August and he's unsigned and the Cowboys need somebody, I would not rule it out. Bill D, any chance they bring Gilmore in? Because I don't feel so great about the corners. I am inclined to agree. I would not be surprised if they brought somebody in. I think Gilmore, where he is in his career versus Douglas, I think does make some more sense. If they want a nickel, Mike Hilton makes a bunch of sense as well. My suspicion is they're going to get through this week, and they probably want at least a week of the pads being on. Pads go on next Monday. Then that gets you to early August. Then they'll potentially reevaluate. Heck, maybe they get through if they need to, if they think it's close, maybe they end up getting through the joint practice with the Rams, and then they'll go from there. But I would not be surprised if they got some help there. We're going to have more Cowboys coverage for you. We have not gone anywhere. We've had videos every day, even in the doldrums of June and July. Now camp's here. We're still going to have you covered. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. Isa, who's your camp superstar this year? If we're talking like bigger names, George, GP3, Pickens. I pay attention to NFL as a whole because it's my job. Like there will be, and the nice part about Cowboys camp is everything's filmed. Day 1, day 2, day 3, there's going to be some superhuman catch by George Pickens. He did it every year at Steelers camp, out in Latrobe, I think it was. He's doing it in Oxnard too. So Pickens will make some unreal highlight catch, and then it's probably some other like more back of the roster receiver does something cool, because I think part of it is just like with camp, it's easier to tell if the receivers are playing well. Not so much with linemen or backs with no pads on, but you make the highlight reel catch. Everyone saw it. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows it was you. So that could be Cropper again. I'd like if it were Mingo, one of the UDFAs. One of the back receivers will make a splash too. Chris B, people wonder why it's been 30 years. Nothing like talking bad about your players. Awesome. It's sometimes like, and this goes to life in general. If it's easy to not do something, I kind of don't have patience for you. Like, or if it's easy to do something, like, I don't have patience for you. Like, be a nice person to others. It's actually super easy. It's not hard at all, actually. Of just like being a regular, normal person. Like just being nice, having respect for others. Like, that's easy to do. Not taking shots at others, like, that's also easy to do. Like, I don't find it very challenging. Like, so I don't have patience for that. It's like, okay, what did you have to? Like, you're not like, don't tell me they're trying to test the players and be strong. Like, no, just don't do it. Just back your guys. Like, it's different than like an office job, but like if your boss is just like bad mouthing you to everybody else around you, like that's not going to go well with them. So I just think it's bad leadership, it's bad management at the end. It is time for our Cowboys Chargers sim. That means the jersey gets to go on. First time all day. You want to mute me for a hot second while I put this on? I don't want to have the mic yet. There we go. I didn't want to have the mic be scrapey there on the side. If you are ready for our Cowboys Chargers sim, like the show right now, I owe a shotty, and we did get past the $100 total in Super Chats, so I owe a beer bong as well for the Cowboys Chargers live sim. This is the Super Chat menu. Wow, Chris, thankfully, goes to get me said beer. $5, you are in to our George Pickens jersey raffle. $10 gets you 3 George Pickens jersey raffle entries. $20 for a shotty. $50 for the beer bong. Every 100 total, I will do a beer bong. That's what this one's coming up for. Also, Chris has said if we get a $100 super chat, I get to post the photo of him carrying his engagement ring for his now fiance in a Zyn can. So if we get the $100, I get to post that. Otherwise, we will leave it to the interwebs, or that you've texted it to, your family, or whoever else you sent that photo to. I'm sure you sent it to somebody else beyond just us. It'd be weird if you didn't send it to anybody else.
Yeah, I sent it to the boys in the group chat.
There you go. I'm sure they loved that.
They thought it was hilarious.
I'm sure they loved that. All right, get your super chats in, get your comments in. Samuel, if you go to a home game in person, what game and why? Okay. Obviously, I will not. I haven't been to a Cowboys game in a very long time because I can't. We're always live. This year, so I would, assuming money is no object, because I am a very cheap person, and I would definitely take the cheapest one. The game that I would want to go to, I'd want it to be a win. So I would probably lean Giants is an easy cop-out answer, but I would be it's almost, I don't want to pick the easiest game because if they lose, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. I will crash out harder than I do. It'll give me the Cardinals game. How about that? That way, they should be able to win it. I'll be mad if they don't. Last one I went to was right after they made the Amari Cooper trade. Was the Titans game? Because me and Brett and James and I forget who else went with us. We all went there, and I was just pissed the entire time because they kept calling the same plays, and I was in the stands they're gonna run that shit again, and then they ran that shit again. I'm like, this is bad. I should not be able to call out your plays on a consistent basis. That's not a good thing there. So first off, shoddy. And then beer bong. Woo! Thank you, guys. The Madden schedule has been a wild one. Been about 2 weeks, so we'll recap this here before we dive into it. They beat the Eagles week 1, beat the Giants, beat the Bears, beat the Packers, beat the Jets, beat the Panthers, lost against the Commanders, beat the Broncos, beat the Cardinals when Arizona didn't get a playoff in the final 20 seconds of the game. Beat the Raiders on a Hail Mary walk-off. Beat the Eagles in overtime after a DPI. Forced it to overtime with the Eagles getting a break there. Lost against the Chiefs after Mahomes threw for 450 yards. Beat the Lions. Beat the Vikings. Now today they get the Chargers. Again, as a reminder, the Super Chat menu, $5 into the George Pickens jersey raffle, $10 for 3, $20 for the shoddy, $50 for the beer bong. By the way, Samuel, your most recent fiver, also has you entered. So Cowboys Chargers, who you got in this one? I got to get the zeros up there. Sad. I guess you're right. It hasn't actually kicked off yet, so that's probably fine. Get the likes going. Get the DALs, LACs going. Cowboys, Chargers. This is the Week 16 matchup. Week 17 is going to be the Commanders. I mean, just go to it. I think that's fine. And I'll mention the stats later on throughout the game. I'm going to try to do some Christmas in July stuff. Maybe bring back in the because it's going to be on the 25th of July, I think is the next sim. Or is that the 24th? Either way, it's going to be right on it there. 24th, so Christmas Eve. I'll wear the Christmas sweater for the Commanders game. I'll make sure the fan is on because I'm gonna roast in July heat, even with the AC on. So Cowboys, Chargers, let me know who you got in this one, and then we'll have good enough time to – I have room for multiple playoff games if they keep winning them. I have room for them. We'll see what actually happens. Something tells me very Cowboys outcome of them just choking would be ironic. All right, let's get to kickoff then. Cowboys and the Chargers. I did put the Chargers in their powder blue and yellows because I like them. Better than the all yellow jerseys. By the way, unrelated altogether. Did anyone else see the Steelers throwbacks? Those are so ugly. Kick is away. Turpin and Blue be back deep to return this one. That is fielded by Jaden Blue. And Blue gets out past the 30, past the 40 to the 41-yard line. 3 different shades of yellow should never be in your plans for a uniform. Just a bad idea. So Cowboys offense out there. To put this in perspective for how good Madden Dak has been this year, 82% completion rate, 3,058 yards, 37 total TDs, and 6 interceptions. Unbelievable. He's going to win MVP in Madden. First play is a give to Williams. He will pick up 3 on that one. So 2nd and 7 coming up now. Madman says Turpin's back from his suspension. Spot the lie. He kind of is. All right. 2nd and 7, just shy of the 45-yard line here. It's a throw, down the field to Madden Tolbert, who picks up the first down. Type in those ones, A for Tolbert, and for the first down pickup itself. So 1st and 10 Cowboys, they are marching. Dak in the shotgun. Gives to Jaden Blue, Javonte Williams, who makes a man miss to the 5, to the 3, and out of bounds at the 4. He kind of lost a yard. A nice 33-yard run by Javonte Williams. Hey, we're in the red zone. 2 for $1, $50 beer bong offer. That is the best run I think I've seen from Javonte Williams all year with some bonus weird physics involved there. First and goal from the 4. Williams the single back. Dak, drag, throws, held on to. It's Pickens again. Spam those TDs. That is the 13th touchdown catch of the year from Madden Pickens. Just like that. That's a tight window throw there. Kind of a dangerous throw, too. Dan Henley lurking at the linebacker spot. Spam those TDs. A very quick opening drive for the Cowboys. I couldn't even get the press conference reaction tweet out in the time that the drive began. It's crazy. So extra point coming up here. Type in those TDs. 7-0. Extra point was good. On for the kick now is indeed Brandon Aubrey. It's away, grabbed at the goal line, and brought out to about the 25. I think that is Darius Davis. I think. So Chargers coming out now on offense. They got the Herbert stats from last year. The year before, I suppose. Let's see what the Cowboys defense can do. They've been a little inconsistent as of late. 31 points, 35 points, 17 points, 9 points. Average is fine. Not so much on the median. Herbert, Heavy set. Gives it to Omarion Hampton. Hampton is going to pick up just a couple on that one, a gain of, I believe, 2. William Cook, a $5 super chat. Madden Pickens just earned himself $35 million a year. Yes, Madden Pickens is going to become a highly paid player. He's not quite to 1,000 yards yet. I don't know if he's going to get there with 2.5 games to go, but, 7-minute quarters. It's impressive. Herbert all day, wide open hitch route. It's caught by Will Dissly for a gain of almost 20. So some concern on that opening drive. Nice pickup there by Dissly. Not great coverage. First and 10, just shy of midfield. Ball at the 47. Downfield, Herbert a bomb, broken up. Malik Hooker in coverage. Second and 10. From the 47, Herbert the handoff to Hampton. Hampton slicing through is going to pick up 9. Good bit of running there, and that will bring up 3rd and 1. Can you also review that short that Aiden put in social? If it works, I'll post it after live. 3rd and 1. They're going to go pistol with the fullback to the right of Herbert. It's a play action. Herbert has all day. Now we'll tuck and run and slide for a first down. That was some embarrassing pass rush there. Herbert had all the time in the world. So 1st and 10. Herbert looking, throwing, a strike to the end zone, and he's in. Will Dissly blows by the coverage, and he's in for the score. That is the whitest dance ever. Very rigid and stiff. Double teaming Micah. Nobody else gets loose. Busted coverage. I couldn't tell if that was Leafau in coverage or not. Wilson in the area. Of course he was. That was not good, and the Chargers now on the verge of tying this one up. Extra point is coming. It's going to be Dicker the kicker, who was a punter originally in the NFL. And then they moved him over to kicker, and it's worked wonders for him. Extra point coming. It is up, and it is good. The Cowboys enter this Week 15 matchup at 12-2. Remarkably strong this season. Not quite assured of anything, though, right now. Not quite. No, have not locked up the division in the sim, have not locked up anything else. Might be able to lock up the division. We'll see what happens after this week with the rest of the games. NFC's kind of cannibalized each other. It's kind of crazy. So kick team is on. Dicker the kicker, it's away. Grabbed at the 15. And nowhere to go on that one. Stopped shy at the 30. Okay. First and 10. Let's see what the Cowboys offense can do now. They march down the field with ease on the opening drive. Now we'll see what happens on this one. I-form set. Throws in the flat, caught by Flipke for a gain of 7. So 2nd and 3 coming up now. From the 36. Give to Blue. Blue is going to be tackled right at the marker, but enough for a first down. Type in those ones. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. We are tied up at 7. From the 40. Dak flushed, rolling right, looking, tucking, running, zigzagging, gets hit out of bounds, but not before he picks up 13. And in real life, Dak, please slide. He was kind of spasming weirdly there. You see that? So 1st and 10, Cowboys marching. From the 47, offset I. Prescott, a give. Williams, not going to get much there, just a yard. Is that Scott Matlock in on the tackle? The fullback / linebacker? Did I see that correctly? No, that's Tuli Pelotu, excuse me. 45 versus 44. But that makes more sense than Matlock. Trips left, 2nd and 9. 2:10 to go in the first quarter. Prescott, quick one, caught by Ferguson. That's Tolbert. And he picks up about 5. So 3rd and 4 coming up. As it stands right now, it'd be a 58-yard field goal try. So it'd be a long one. Prescott in the shotgun. Drops back. Flushed, rolling left, tucking, running, is not going to get there. He picks up 2, but he needed 4. Weird, almost a mating dance there between Dan Henley and Dak Prescott, frankly. So 4th and 2. Do they bring out Aubrey for what would be about a 57-yard try? They're going to bring out Aubrey from the left hash. Kick is up, on the way. It is good. Aubrey delivers from 57 on that kick. And the Cowboys retake the lead 10-7. You know what that means. Get the alien emoji in the comment section of today's show. Spam it as the Cowboys take the lead 10-7 here. Big play there from the kicker, at least. The rest, rest of the offense did kind of stall out a little bit there. Kick is away. Davis on the return gets to 20, 25, and stopped right there. Not a good return by the Chargers. So 1st and 10. Beer bongs for 50, 20s for shots. We get to 200 total. I'll do an additional beer bong. Herbert drops back, throws, got a man again. That's McConkey. Lad McConkey on the catch. I have concerns with the way the defense has played so far. Chargers have moved the ball at will. 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Herbert under center, going to give it to Hampton. Sheds one tackle, spins out of another, and will pick up 6. Also, whoever designed Hampton with just 0 gear on should probably be sent to the gulag. I know he did it in the rain at North Carolina, but he wore some stuff. He just had like the wrist tape on. Sad. 2nd and 4, maybe the final play of the first quarter. Herbert gives it to Hampton, and he's stopped short. 3rd and 2 will come up when we begin the second quarter. Can the Cowboys defense get a stop? Final play of the quarter coming up. A reminder, $5, you're into our George Pickens jersey raffle. $10 gets you 3 entries. $50 for the beer bong. 20 for a shotty. We've got a little bit of shot left. Then I'm going to refill it, but I've still got vodka and some lemonade left. $20 to do some shotties here. Chargers going to go I-form set. One receiver. Herbert barks out a play call at the line. They need to get 2 yards. It's a pass. Herbert, drag, caught, first down. Tyler Conklin open on that one as the defense allows a giant gaping hole about 5 yards downfield. 1st and 10. From the 40, Herbert in the pistol. Hampton behind him. Give to Hampton. Hampton is going to spin and not get much. DeMarvion Overshone led the charge on that tackle. 2nd and 10 coming up now. Still early in the second quarter. Cowboys 10, Chargers 7. Herbert, drag, caught, a gain of about 8. I think that was Quentin Johnston. And that will bring up 3rd and 2. Another big 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 2 here. Herbert in the shotgun. Gives Hampton right up the middle, and he gets the first down. Donovan Wilson laid the lumber, but that was a big pickup for the Chargers. They are now 1st and 10 to the 25-yard line. So well within field goal range. Herbert, play action, throws a hitch, caught, first down again. McConkey. The Chargers are driving here. Oh, so concerning. First and 10, inside the 15, at the 14, really. Herbert, drag again, caught falling down. I think that was Disley. Second and 9, Herbert, another drag, caught by Johnston. He picks up all but 4. 3rd and 4 coming up now. Another big 3rd down. Is that 2 or 3 times now on this drive? Type in those 3s. There's Donut Shotty. Herbert with a 2x2 shotgun set. Hampton to his left. 4-man front for the Cowboys. Herbert drops back. Throws, end zone, it's caught for a touchdown. Trey Harris, the rookie, scores. Looks like he beat Trayvon Diggs on that one. And that's why Jerry's mad at Diggs. I think that left foot was down. Tough to tell with the physics and the engine. So Chargers take their first lead of the game after the Cowboys' drive stalls out and they settle for a field goal. Extra point from Dicker the kicker. That is good. 14-10. Chargers are up. Concerning defensive start here. Let's do it. I like it. Most comments in the next 60 seconds will get a free raffle entry. So flood the comment section right now. Whoever comments the most in the next 60 seconds will get that free raffle entry. We'll let producer Chris pick the winner because I don't want to take responsibility. Kick is away from the 15. Jaden Blue gets to about the 40 on that one. They'll put him at the 40 exactly. Good return there. So Chris will give him a few more maybe another play or two here. Then we can pick the winner. Whoever comments the most, producer Chris will pick the winner. So flood the comment section. Just type me if you want. Whoever comments the most gets that free raffle entry. Prescott out route caught by Ferguson, who gets the first down. Type in those ones. Chris, who is our free raffle entry winner?
We're going to go with Debasement Boys.
The Basement Boys. Are they the Island Boys' cousin? Zins? So 1st and 10 Cowboys past midfield now. Prescott a draw to Williams, who actually is going to lose a yard back to midfield on that one. Second and 11. Prescott out route caught. That's going to be a gain of 7. I think that was Pickens who did not stay in bounds. Another 3rd and 4 coming up. So Prescott in the shotgun. Again, they are in field goal range. It'd be a 60-yarder, though. Prescott throws, caught. Pickens at the marker. They didn't give him the first down. 4th and inches, you go for it. I get you got Aubrey. You go quarterback sneak this bad boy. That's what you do. 4th and inches. Wow, they're going to kick the field goal like cowards. Like cowards. It's a 56-yarder, and he doinked it. Unbelievable. I don't think I've seen a doink in this game before, actually. I don't think I've seen one. So you don't go for it on inches like cowards, then you doink the field goal. That costs you at least 3 points, might be 7, and the Chargers have a ton of time now. Near midfield with 2:24 to go. Unbelievable mistake there. So 1st and 10 from the 46. Herbert. Throws to a wide open McConkey. He's down to the 11. Just right by the outside receivers. It's that same play. They, for whatever reason in the Sims, when they send one guy short, one guy downfield, they always take the short guy and the deep guy gets behind the corner, behind and in front of the safety. Every time. 2-minute warning. It's 14-10. About to be more than that in favor of the Chargers. They are at the 11. 1st and 10. Herbert throws, caught at the 5, stopped there. 2nd and 2. Now we will see what the Cowboys dial up. Herbert going to go in the shotgun, or Chargers will dial up here. Herbert in the shotgun, Hampton to his left. Play clock down to 3, 2, the snap. Herbert, end zone, caught on the touchdown by the Chargers. I think that was Trey Harris again. Looks like it. It is. The rookie's got 2 touchdown grabs on the day as the Chargers are now up 2 scores. Herbert and company slicing and dicing the missed field goal that led to what, a 3-play scoring drive? Looming large right now because you didn't go for it. Extra point from Dicker the kicker, up good, 21-10. 14 unanswered by the Chargers here. And they get the ball to begin the second half. Cowboys have time. Minute and change to go in the first half. The Super Chat menu, $5, you're into our George Pickens jersey raffle. $10 is 3, it's $20 for a shoddy. Can we finish them today? It's got at least 2 or 3 more. Can we finish them? Return coming here from Blue. Blue gets took down at about the 35-yard line. Taken down to 35 is the proper grammar there. Minute 10 to go. Cowboys do have all 3 timeouts. So do the Chargers. Cowboys down by 11 here. Cowboys struck first, went up 7-0. Since then, it's been 21-3 Chargers. Prescott in the shotgun here. Drops back. Throws an out route. Broken up and nearly picked. Dangerous throw. Late to the outside is a bad spot to be. Alohi Gilman, the safety, in on that play. So 2nd and 10. 1:06 to go. Dak will go empty here. Drops back. Has time. Throws. Caught by Blue. Makes a man miss. Gets bent up awkwardly. Picks up 9 to bring up 3rd and 1. Cowboys called a timeout after the Junior Colson tackle. 3rd and 1 coming up now. Prescott drops back. Has a lot of time. Throws. Caught by Tolbert. Tolbert dancing. Gets to the 44. Timeout Cowboys. 54 seconds left. First and 10. .54 seconds. Cowboys are again in field goal range. Ball at the 44. Prescott in the shotgun. Empty personnel. Dak throws. Caught. And no, dropped by Jaden Blue. 2nd and 10. 50 seconds left. Prescott drops back. Dak flush. Going to take a terrible sack. Guyton just backed away from it all. That is a timeout Dallas. 3rd and 15 coming up. .46 seconds left. Dak, drag route, caught. Ferguson is not going to get enough for the first down. Chargers should call timeout. They have not. Clock is ticking. Dallas will be able to get a field goal try here, though. Going to be another long one. This one from 55. And the right hash. Aubrey's kick is up. It is good that time at the halftime buzzer. So 21-13, Chargers up over the Cowboys. Big play there to at least get a field goal. But Chargers up by 8 right now. Get the alien emoji. He delivered on that one at least. Shocked the Chargers did not call a timeout there. It's kind of just bad clock management. By the way, Micah retweeted J.J. Watt's comment about like the ownership taking shots at him. So that's a good sign. Return by Davis gets past the 30 to bring up 1st and 10. So Chargers back out on offense. They're up 21-13 right now. I could probably use a beer bong today, honestly. With the way this stuff is going, I could use a beer bong. $50 and we'll do one. Give to Hampton on a read option. Going to get to the edge and pick up about 12 on that one. So 1st and 10. Herbert will go under center here. Gives it to Hampton. Hampton going to get a broken tackle. It's just running over dudes right now. Picks up 7. Second and 3. Full house pistol. Herbert. Oh, that should have been picked. Leofau jumped the route on accident. He was going into the flat. It was a flat route out of the backfield. A slant was the intended target. Was thrown behind the slant route. It's 3rd and 3. Chargers have been lights out on 3rd down for the most part today. Caught by McConkey. He gets drilled, but he holds on and gets the 1st down. I don't know what the 3rd down numbers are. It's like 100% for LA. I think 0 for the Cowboys, actually. I think. Maybe they got one on that first drive. First and 10. Herbert, a drag, caught. Disley, what is that angle? Diggs and Hooker just ran right by him. Directly by him. It looks like me trying to make it. Watch this, Chris. Go do. They cut it. They literally just like undercut him. Those two guys that were right there missed him. Unbelievable. That's got to be rigged. This is one of those games like you're just not going to win. Like one side is winning no matter what. Give to Hampton. Broke a tackle, but got nothing on that one. Second and 10. Herbert in the shotgun. Going to give it to Hampton. Hampton going to run over a guy. Only pick up 2, though. Third and 8. Herbert in the shotgun. Drops back. Has a man in the flat. Didn't see him. Going to tuck, run, and just scamper in untouched. Garbage level defensive performance so far from the Cowboys. They have not got a single stop yet. A big old goose egg so far. 27-13, and this one just feels impossible. If the defense can't do anything to get a stop, at least. 0 stops today. 4 offensive drives by the Chargers. 4 touchdowns. (28-13). Chargers up by really 2 1/4, I'll call it, because they got to go for 2. I did lose a game in CFB 26 last night, Chris. Because I threw, there was like the BS pick stuff was going on. Like I got hit as I threw, bounced off 3 defenders, and they caught it and ran it back for a pick 6. But I was about to make a comeback, and I just simmed the extra point like I always do. Got blocked apparently, so I had to go for 2, and I didn't get it. I was going to force overtime otherwise. I was so mad. 28-13. Kick is away. It's my fault in the end. As Turpin gets to about the 33, Cowboys have to go get points here. And really a touchdown. A field goal does nothing for them. First and 10. Drag incomplete. That is the first time we've had a target in the direction of CeeDee Lamb. But they've just not done anything on third downs. And it's been Ferguson a bunch on third downs. And a lot of runs, too. I think the Chargers have been on offense a lot more today than the Cowboys. Prescott will go empty. Drag caught by Pickens. He picks up a generous 8 yards. 3rd and 2. Dak throws, caught by Ferguson, holds on, and picks up several there. First down Cowboys, but clock is kind of ticking here. Inside of 3.5 to go in the third quarter. First and 10, Prescott. Drag, caught again by Ferguson. It's been the Fergie day. All these teams are doing drags outside of the one deep shot to McConkey by the Chargers. Drags left and right. Second and 3, excuse me. Ball at the 46. Prescott gives it to Blue. Blue will get the first down. Type in those ones. First and 10. Prescott will go under center. Give up the middle. It's a big one by Williams to the 23. Maybe they should have run the ball more with Williams today. Had a couple nice runs. Blue is not. Down by 15. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Prescott in the shotgun. Dak gives it to Blue, cuts it back, and he picks up 6. 2nd and 4. I would argue, I know you're in 4-down territory here. A field goal does you nothing. 12-point lead is still a 2-touchdown game. 2nd and 4. Prescott hands it again to Blue. Blue is going to get Williams will get the first down, 33-34. Just can't figure it out. 1st and 10. Ball at the 13. Cowboys are marching. Prescott in the shotgun will drop back, has time, throwing end zone. It's intercepted, and that'll probably do it. You can't do that. Offense finally back in the red zone and a brutal turnover. Between the defense not doing anything and that being a horrible double-covered, not remotely open throw. Also, Tolbert's got to come back to the ball a little bit there. But they don't come back in Madden. They come back in CFP 26. Not in this one. That will do it, in all likelihood. Chargers up by 15. Cowboys a chance to make it a one-score game. Even if they'd scored there, I don't know if that was going to be enough to pull off the comeback here. You would have gotten a stop at some point. I don't know if they can. That's a horrible throw, though. That's right to Deontay Jackson. Held the ball way too long. Herbert, drag, dropped. 2nd and 10. I don't think the Cowboys have stopped the Chargers on a single third down today yet, by the way. I think they're like 5 of 5 or something. Well, still doing shotties for 20s and beer bongs for 100. I'd sure like one, frankly. 1st and 10. Caught. Gain of 7. To bring up another key third down. Can you get a stop here? Can you get a stop or no? Third and 2. Herbert has time. Downfield. Broken up. They did get a stop finally. First time the Chargers really go downfield since the McConkey play. It's a big one there. Now you're really feeling the pain of not getting that earlier one. You're really feeling it now. So punt team on. First stop comes after the interception. They needed it. Fair caught. And the Cowboys will take back over at the 42-yard line. Still down 2 scores, though. And a field goal does you nothing. Dak, a slant flat combo picks up a yard. Hate that play call. That's straight from the McCarthy playbook right there. Slant flats. 2nd and 9. That ends the third quarter. Fourth quarter coming up. Cowboys still down by 2 scores here. 28-13. Feels like inevitable this will be the 3rd Cowboys loss of the season. Prescott drops back, throws, caught by Lamb. His first catch of the game comes in the 4th quarter. If this weren't a video game, I'd blame coaching for not getting an easy little screen to Lamb at some point. First catch of the day. 6:37 to go in the ball game. Chargers 28, Cowboys 13. It's a give to Williams, who picks up 2. I don't know if runs are the stuff to do right now here. As good as he's ran it today. 2nd and 8 coming up next here for the Cowboys. Dak will go empty. Clock is ticking. 6:10 to go now. Prescott has time, throws, and overshoots Pickens. 3rd and 8, it'd be a 57-yard field goal try. As long as you don't take a sack, I'm going for it on 4th down. Because a field goal does nothing for you. Does nothing. 2-by-2 set. Dak, screen, caught by Blue. Doesn't get the first down. 4th and 2, you got to go for it. A field goal is giving up on the game. You turn a 2-touchdown game into a 2-touchdown game. They're going to go for it. Good decision. Got to get it here. 4th and 2. 5:40 to play in the football game. Prescott, a handoff. First down, Jaden Blue. Or sorry, that's Williams again. I keep doing that today. I don't know why. I can't tell it. 1st and 10. Heavy personnel set, 1 receiver, Prescott, throwing, got a man, it's Ferguson, down to the 3. They got to go tempo now. First and goal, inside of 5 to go, 28-13, Chargers up over the Cowboys. Dak will go under center. Toss left to Williams. He's in, and it is now a 1-score game. Now the problem the Cowboys face here is they're going to have to go for 2 at some point. Do they go for it now or later? (28-19), Cowboys score. Let's see if they kick the extra point or go for the 2-point try now. They're going to kick the extra point. Aubrey's kick is up and good. The things that are haunting you right now, the missed 56-yarder when you didn't go for it on 4th and inches, the interception in the red zone. Could have made it a 1-score game. Also haunting you, the defense having 1 stop all game. Got to get a stop, another one here. .441 to go. Kick is away from Aubrey. High kick. Grabbed at the 5 by Darius Davis. Davis brings it out, cuts it right, and gets taken down to 26-yard line. So Herbert and the offense. 4 incompletions, 3 touchdowns for Herbert. 4 if you count the one on the ground. Video game stuff right there. If you'd gotten 7 or 8, you could have been maybe tied. Or down by 1. Herbert drops back, has a lot of time, throws it, caught, broken tackle too. Disley gets the first down to the 40. Handoff to Hampton. Hampton picks up 8. 4 minutes to go. Second and really a yard and a half. 3:45. Play action. Herbert throwing. Caught, first down. McConkey beats Bland, and the Chargers are now in field goal range, a chance to drain clock and go up an insurmountable 2 scores around the 2-minute warning. That probably does it, Chris. That one right there. Herbert hands it off to Hampton. Hampton cuts it up and picks up 5. Okay clock management. 3:10 to go in the football game. Cowboys not using their timeouts, and they can't get a stop on defense. In the Madden Sims, it's tough to win games if you allow 30 points. Cowboys did that twice, but one of which was overtime. But they've won every game they've scored at least 30 except for the Chiefs game. Drag to Herbert, first down to the 10. Quentin Johnston knocked down at about the 5. Cowboys are not going to call a timeout, so Chargers will take off 20 seconds here, take it down to the 2-minute warning, run it 3 times, kick the field goal, or score and go home. 2-minute warning. Two-minute warning here. Herbert under center. Cowboys have all 3 timeouts. They have to block a field goal here. Hampton, holding onto the ball, gets drilled. Murray led the charge with Jack Sanborn. Cowboys call timeout. That took off 4 seconds. Second and goal. Herbert, handoff. Hampton cutting it up, is going to get nothing there. In fact, he'll lose a couple yards. Took off 5 seconds, 1:51 to go. Chargers will run it again. The Cowboys probably going to stop here on defense, but it feels like a fake stop, right? Herbert, time, dancing, tucking, will take a sack by Overshone. Took it down to 1:46. No timeouts left for Dallas. They just called their final one. The field goal, though, would essentially ice it. And even then, you actually might be in a position where you want to go kick the field goal and then go for the onside kick to give yourself a Hail Mary chance. And still a 2-point try if you can't get a quick touchdown. Kick from Dicker, the kicker, coming up here. Up. Good. 31-20. Minute 43 to go here. Kick is away. And grabbed and taken to about the 31-yard line. First and 10. Minute 39 left here. Got to go get a touchdown or a field goal. Onside kick. And then get points again. Either 8 or another field goal. If you get the touchdown earlier and the 8 earlier. Prescott. Out route. Caught. A gain of 6. Does stop the clock, so that's not that bad there. Dak under some pressure, throwing off balance. Got a man. It's Tolbert along the sidelines. Out of bounds at the 40. 31-20, minute 29 to go. Prescott will go in the shotgun. 1st and 10, ball at the 40. Drops back. Throws, broken up, tried to go to Lamb. Dangerous throw, incomplete on that one. Dak uncorking a bomb to the sideline. Broken up, intended for Pickens. I actually don't mind taking a bunch of vertical shots here in an effort to try to get a quick strike since you need 2 here. Dak in the shotgun. Flushed and running the wrong way. Throws it away late. Out of bounds. Incomplete. The weird spinning nonsense. So they'll have to try the field goal from Aubrey from 57 to make it an 8-point game and see if they can then get the onside kick and go score a touchdown and an extra point. Aubrey from 57 yards out and the right hash. He missed one from deep earlier. This one is up, and it is good. So it is 31-23, and now the Cowboys just need the miracle onside kick here. (31-23). Extra point or onside kick coming following the extra point. Aubrey's kick to the left side, fielded cleanly and returned to the 40, 30, 25, 20, down at the 18. Was it the Commanders game where they had the onside kick return touchdown? Then the Falcons game a couple years ago where Lamb got it and took it to the house? I remember all that. So Chargers will kneel, and that will do it for the Cowboys. McConkey, 5 for 99. Brutal. Just brutal. Kneel downs forthcoming. Didn't get the onside kick. Happens. I mean, they're in the red zone. They're going to get a stop technically here. All right. Want to go to just the who gets the game ball? Yeah, let's just go to it. It's just kneel downs. There's no funny business in this one. Chargers win 31-23. If anyone, who gets the game ball? I mean, Herbert for the Chargers. Does anyone get it for the Cowboys? Does anyone get it? Honestly, I don't. Aubrey missed a kick. He was good beyond that, but he missed a kick. Williams had a good game. Blew at a drop. It was kind of bad. I'm going to go with nobody. You guys can vote in the comments of today's show. And make sure you are subscribed as well. More camp updates, preseason watch parties. We got you covered. Hit that sub button right now. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Thursday's live show, Cowboys Commanders. Christmas in July. Don't miss out.